Hey everyone, Andrew back again and welcome to another video, and for today's video I'm back at you with another top 20 for 2020. This was created by Jason and Joe, and I'm sure most of you are already subscribed to both of them already, but if not, I'll leave a link to their channels in the description box below. So another great theme for this round, it is top 20 2010's slashers. Had to get in on this theme. And yeah, this was another pretty tricky list to compile, but I have come up with 20, so let's get started. So first off the rank is The Sleeper at number 20, and this could have been higher on the list, however it's been quite a while since I've seen this one, but I definitely felt that it was deserving of a spot within my top 20. This one is pretty underrated. It came out I think around 2012, so it's been out for a while. It got so much hype when it first came out, totally deserved, because this one is fantastic. It's got creepy atmosphere, which I really like, and it definitely has a lot of similarities to Black Christmas, especially in regards to the killer's behaviour. But yeah, it's been a while, so that's why it is number 20 on the list. But I definitely need to rewatch this one pretty soon. But yeah, this one is really good. That is The Sleeper. Number 19, we have The Orphan Killer, and this is an awesome low-budget independent slasher, and I love how kind of different the storyline is within this film, because it all centers around the relationship between a brother and sister who got split up during their stay when they were little kids at an orphanage. The sister ended up getting adopted and the brother did not. So this one kind of centers around the brother and sister relationship, all with the backdrop of religion and the orphanage, which I do like. And this one is pretty brutal and nasty in terms of the kills and gore. So yeah, awesome film, The Orphan Killer. Coming in at number 18, we have Wrong Turn 4, and this is definitely one of my favourites within the Wrong Turn series. Quite a lengthy franchise, and probably one that really needs no introduction. I love the snowy setting within this film. I love the whole sort of storyline with the brothers when they were younger. And now they're older and they still live at the old abandoned asylum, which is really awesome. This one has some good kills in it as well. So yeah, that's Wrong Turn 4. Coming in at number 17, we have Lost After Dark. And this is pretty traditional, but it's exactly what this movie is meant to be. It's basically a throwback, a love letter to all the 80s slasher movies that we all know and love. However, there is one thing that definitely kind of has always stood out to me with this film, and I'm not really going to spoil too much, but the order that the characters are killed in are a little bit different than you would normally expect. So I kind of like the unpredictability in that aspect of this film. But yeah, this one is a straightforward, traditional style slasher done really well. Coming in at number 16, we have The Final Girls, and this one is a really solid sort of slasher comedy, and you guys know that I am pretty picky when it comes to my comedy with horror, but this one definitely gets it right. I like the storyline within this film. It's definitely something pretty unique and different within the modern slasher genre, and this one has a really good cast of characters as well. So yeah, that's The Final Girls. Number 15 goes to the Banana Splits movie. Now, I am not familiar with the original television series. However, when this got announced, I knew it was something that I was going to enjoy, and it did not disappoint. I think this one is a lot of fun, and I love how a child's television characters basically turn into killers. I think it is an awesome concept, and it's done extremely well within this film. And I was kind of surprised how mean-spirited some of the scenes are within this film as well, especially considering that kids were involved. But yeah, the Banana Splits movie, had an absolute blast with it. Love this one a lot. Coming in at number 14 is You're Next. Now, originally when I saw this, I did not like it. However, I rewatched it when I was doing my top 20 home invasion movies lists, and from memory, this one ranked pretty high on that list. But yeah, upon second viewing, I thought this was absolutely amazing. It's a great blend of home invasion and slasher. Pretty much my two favourite horror genres, so yeah, this one definitely had to go on the list. And the heroine within this movie, the final girl, she is fantastic. Coming in at number 13, we have Haunt, and this is probably the most recent one on my list. This one came out late last year, and this one was pretty much my favourite slasher from last year, actually. I thought it was done really, really well. I loved the whole sort of haunted attraction setting within this movie. It was done exceptionally well. I liked the kills. I liked the killers within this film. Yeah, just a really, really solid modern slasher movie. Coming in at number 12 is The Killage, and I've talked about this movie numerous times on this channel already. I believe this is the only official release this movie has. It's the DVD from Monster Pictures from over here in Australia, and this one is a low budget Australian slasher film set up in Queensland, and it is fantastic. It's very cliche, it's very self-aware, it's got some comedy elements, but everything works so well within this film. So yeah, if you haven't heard of this one, I definitely recommend looking it up, and yeah, hopefully you're able to check this one out, because this one is fantastic and it has some really, really awesome kills in it as well. Coming in at number 11 is Charlie's Farm, and this one is probably more well known than The Killage. This one was also filmed up in Queensland. It's got some pretty big name characters within this one. Kane Hodder, Bill Moseley, and Nathan Jones are in this one. This one is fantastic. It's pretty much a love letter to traditional slasher movies. It's got a lot of similarities to Hatchet, so if you like the Hatchet series and you haven't seen this one, definitely check it out. This one is fantastic. Okay, so now we're on to the top 10. So coming in at number 10 is Terrifier, and I'm sure this one is probably going to be higher on a lot of people's lists, but for me it sits at number 10. I think this is fantastic, especially when it comes to a modern slasher, and I think the character of Art the Clown is fantastic. He made this movie for me. He was super creepy and absolutely fantastic slasher villain, and I hope we see more of him. The only issue that I had with this one is it had too many chase sequences for my liking, but like I said, Art the Clown was awesome. I loved the setting within this film, and the kills were fantastic. Coming in at number 9 is Leprechaun Returns, and this one is pretty much my favourite within the Leprechaun franchise. To me, this is everything that I like my slashers to be. To me, this is one of the most perfect modern slasher movies out there. Everything was done really, really well. The kills are a lot of fun, the characters are great, and the leprechaun as the killer is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, this one is super fun. That's Leprechaun Returns. Coming in at number 8 is The Strangers Prey at Night. Now, I'm a massive fan of the original, but this one is pretty different, and I think it definitely works. It's definitely more of a slasher. But yeah, this movie is phenomenal. I love the trailer park location. It's creepy, it's eerie, it's all set at night, which is fantastic, and it's got great atmosphere. I love the killers within this film. This one has a great soundtrack, and that scene at the swimming pool was just absolutely incredible. So yeah, that's Strangers Prey at Night. Coming in at number 7 is Dream Home, and I've talked about this movie numerous times on my channel, but if you have not seen this movie by now, out of every film on this list, this one probably gets my highest recommendation. It is frigging phenomenal. It's an Asian slasher, and this one has a fantastic killer, great storyline. It's pretty different to most of your other slashers out there because it's very, very story driven, and the kills are some of the most realistic, brutal, and honestly best kills that I have ever seen within this genre, which is saying quite a lot. So yeah, I love this movie. It is amazing. That is Dream Home. Coming in at number 6 is Stitches, and this one is an Irish slasher featuring a killer clown. The killer clown in this one is the slasher. This one is super fun. It's kind of got some comedy elements in it as well, but it works really, really well, especially considering that the slasher is a killer clown. The kills in this one are so inventive. They're pretty unique, and this one doesn't have a high body count, but the kills more than make up for it. The kills within this movie are fantastic. So yeah, that is Stitches. Coming in at number 5 is Cult of Chucky, and you guys know how big of a fan I am of this franchise, so one of the movies had to be on this list, and when it comes to the modern movies, Cult of Chucky is definitely my favourite. I think this is absolutely phenomenal movie. I love the setting. To me, this definitely has the best kills within the franchise, including my favourite kill of all time from the franchise, when that little bitch Claire gets killed. I love when Chucky sends the cylinder up into the skylight and Claire gets decapitated. It looks frigging awesome. I love the introduction of the multiple Chuckies within this film too. I think that is a pretty cool aspect and it works really, really well. But yeah, this movie is awesome, so that's Cult of Chucky. Coming in at number 4 is Better Watch Out, and this is another one that if you have not seen, this one gets my highest recommendation. This movie is phenomenal. I'm not really going to talk too much about it, even though I easily could, but a quick summary, this is basically a slasher version of Home Alone. So yeah, frigging awesome film. There's a lot of twists throughout this movie too, and the main character within this movie is phenomenal. So that's all I'm going to say on that. But yeah, this movie is amazing. Better watch out. Coming in at number 3 is Wolf Creek 2, and I'm a massive fan of this franchise, and I'm so proud that this is an Australian franchise with John Jarratt playing Mick Taylor, who is obviously Australian. This movie is phenomenal. I've talked about this franchise quite a bit over the years, but this one definitely ramps it up over the original, which I always like. I think if a sequel has to be done, it definitely needs to add something and kind of ramp it up from the original, and this one certainly does. It definitely feels more like a slasher than the original film. This one's brutal. There's some awesome kills within it, and yeah, John Jarratt as Mick Taylor is awesome as ever. Coming in at number 2 is Hatchet 2. Now, like my previous list, this was kind of difficult to rank the second and first place film, but I went with Hatchet 2 for number 2. This is my favourite within the franchise. I love the older, mature cast within this film. I love the setting. The kills are fantastic. And yeah, I've talked about this movie a lot, so I will keep it brief. But yeah, I love Hatchet 2, and it definitely had to be really, really high on my list. And the movie that just beats Hatchet 2 out is Maniac, and this was probably really no surprise to a lot of you. I'm sure a lot of you guessed that this would be my number 1, or close to it at least. But yeah, to me this is pretty much the greatest modern slasher ever made. I think Elijah Wood as Frank Zito, absolutely phenomenal performance. I love the soundtrack. I love the POV style of cinematography within this film. It definitely works really, really well, and this one is brutal. So yeah, that's Maniac at number 1. Okay, so there you go. That was my top 20 2010's slasher movie list. Let me know what you think of the 20 that I chose in the comments below. And once again, if you're not already subscribed to Jason and Joe's channels, their links are in the description box below. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you're staying well and safe out there, and thank you for watching.